Good morning, guys. Well, really happy to be with you. I have my coffee. I hope you too. And we are going to read a new book. We've been waiting for this for a long time. And it has been asked by two people specifically. Those people are AEM 2001 and ELÇIN. So those two people asked me if we could read the book Les Misérables of Victor Hugo. It's a very important book. It's known all over the world. It has been written in the 19th century. It was for the first time published in 1862. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the book, not too much, just the importance of it. And then we're going to read together today already one page. Now, it will be up to you to see if we are reading one page a week or 2 pages. I would say rather 2 pages, but we will see. Well, the French language is very descriptive, so there is a lot of words. So up to you, but let's try to make it 2 pages a week. So as I said, the book was first published in 1862, and it is maybe the most important book novel for the French culture. And it has become, in the meantime, also World Heritage. So I think people all over the world know it. The book we're going to read, I'm going to show you, it's this one. So this book is based on the musical that was written by Alain, Boublil, and Claude-Michel Schönberg. It's not very important to know the names of those people, but those two people made a musical of it. This musical has been played everywhere in the world, London, Broadway, everywhere. Maybe you've also seen the French movie. There is a famous French movie, with Jean-Paul Belmondo. Maybe you've seen that version. That's a movie. There was also a movie, I think, quite recently, where Anne Hathaway is Fantine. So Fantine is a girl, and you see the first chapter. You see this on the screen. Fantine. It's about Fantine. It's a young girl, and well, she really has a lot of problems. But so Anne Hathaway, she plays Fantine in that movie. Now, there is a little link to Brussels, because I am in Brussels right now. And so the year after the book was published, so in 1863, the son of Victor Hugo, his name was Charles Hugo, wanted to write a theater piece about this book, but it was forbidden by Napoleon III. So what did he do? He came to Brussels and wrote it in Brussels. So it was created in Brussels, 1863. So, I love my city, Brussels. So I had to mention this. Then, for example, in 1864, a little bit later, they made also an opera of the book. It was to Polish people. It was made for the opera house in Poland, but which is nowadays Ukraine. So it's an opera house that, was situated what is now Ukraine. So this they did already a long time ago, just after the publishing of the book. But I'm quite sure you've seen one of the recent movies or musicals. Myself and my children, we saw it in London, a musical in London. So please go to see it. It's a wonderful story. We're going to read it. Now, the version we are going to read, it's a shorter version. It's based on the musical, and even though the original chronology has been respected, parts of the book have been eliminated. So, for example, there was a big part about the Battle of Waterloo. All the details of that were left out. Some passages are cut. But so the original story and the chronology is still there. If you have questions about the book, about the history, the moment in history, please let me know. Now, why did I choose this background? You see, this is, in fact, this is the castle in Ghent. Why did I choose this? Because I thought, well, it's a book of the 19th century, so maybe I should have an old building in the background. But so now we are going to start the reading of the book. It's the first part. You see, première partie, and it's called Fantine. Good. So, dans les premiers jours du mois d'octobre 1815, 1 heure environ avant le coucher du soleil, un homme qui voyageait à pied entrait dans la petite ville de Digne. So, in the first, yes, and that I have to say before I start translating. What I do is I translate word by word. And so maybe this is not always the way you would say it in English, but it is because you should really understand how it is written in French, how the structure is made. So sometimes I think there is a better way to say it in English. Good. So in the first days of the month of October 1815, and don't forget the Battle of Waterloo, that was 1815, the Battle of Napoleon. 1 hour, approximately, environ, before the setting of the sun, yeah, we would say like the sunset, a man who traveled by foot entered, and in French it's entered, in the small city of Digne. Digne is the name of a city. Les rares habitants qui se trouvaient en ce moment à leur fenêtre ou sur le seuil de leur maison regardaient ce voyageur avec une sorte d'inquiétude. So, the rare inhabitants who found themselves, so we could say who were, at that moment, at their windows or on the doorstep of their houses, looked at or watched that traveler with a kind of inquiétude is anxiety, worry. Okay? Il était difficile de rencontrer un passant d'un aspect plus misérable. So it was difficult to meet a passerby with an aspect with with a more miserable aspect, meaning who looked more miserable. Okay? So don't forget, ask me questions if you do have questions here below the video. C'était un homme de moyenne taille, trapu et robuste dans la force de l'âge. So, it was a man of average size. Now, if you say taille in French, it normally means like your body length, yeah, like your height. Trapu means stocky and robust in the force or the strength of the age. Now, I think in English you would rather say in the prime of life. But so in French you would say in the strength of the age. Let me take off my scarf. It was a little bit cold this morning here in Brussels, but now it's getting a bit warmer. Here we are. Il pouvait avoir 46 ou 48 ans. He could be, but when you say the age of a person, in French, it's the verb have. So he could have, in English would be, he could be 46 or 48 years, meaning years old. Une casquette à visière de cuir rabattue cachait en partie son visage brûlé par le soleil et le hâle et ruisselant de sueur. So, a cap, à visière. You see, visière, it's like a peaked cap, you know, like the protection, the sun protection you have. of leather. Rabattu means bent down, hid or was hiding a part of his face, his burnt face by the sun. So we'd say his burnt face. His burn-faced face? No, sorry. His sunburned face. I'm really sorry. I need some more coffee. Sorry. Good. And al is then the suntan. And ruisselant means streaming with sweat. Sa chemise de grosse toile jaune, rattachée au col par une petite encre d'argent, laissait voir sa poitrine velue. I'm sorry. Okay, let's already translate until here. So his shirt of thick yellow linen, jaune is yellow, attached at the collar by a small silver anchor. Laissez voir. To let see, but to let see means show, to show. Showed his hairy chest, poitrine chest. Il avait une cravate tordue en corde, un pantalon de coutil bleu, usé et râpé, blanc à un genou, troué à l'autre. Let's already go until that. He had a tie, une cravate is a tie. Tordu en corde means like twisted in rope. It was like a twisted rope. Pants, but in French this is singular. Un pantalon means pants of blue, let's say blue ticking pants. Well, yeah, you know, coutil, it's some kind of, it's a fabric. Usé, well, it really says you used it a lot, so it's like worn, and râpé, grated. White at one knee, troué with a hole at the other one, the other knee. And then we have une vieille blouse grise en haillons, rapiécée à l'un des coudes d'un morceau de drap vert cousu avec de la ficelle. So we go until there. An old gray blouse en haillons means in rags. Rapiécé means like it has been patched, it has been, well, mended with like pieces of fabric. So patched, I would say, at one of the coude elbows with a piece of green drape or green curtain, linen, whatever, drap. Normally drap, it's a sheet, a bed sheet. So sewn with de la ficelle, rope, you know, it's a very thin rope, la ficelle. Sur le dos, un sac de soldat fort plein, bien bouclé et tout neuf. À la main, un énorme bâton noueux, les pieds sans bas dans des souliers ferrés, la tête tondue et la barbe longue. So on his back, a bag, a soldier's bag, hein, de soldat, a soldier's bag, very full, well buckled, and totally new. À la main, in his hand, an enormous stick. It's a wooden stick, bâton, it's a wooden stick. Noueux, well, I would say like of knotty wood. His feet in, without socks, sans bas, without stockings or without socks. In shoes, souliers is shoes, but ferré. It's like hobnailed shoes, you know, with small hops underneath, you know, a bit like iron spikes, something like that. The head shaven and a long beard. La sueur, la chaleur, le voyage à pied, la poussière ajoutait je ne sais quoi de sordide à cet ensemble délabré. So, the sweat, the heat, the trip by foot, the dust, added, so all those elements added, I don't know what of sordid element to this overall, ensemble, this overall rundown. So you had really an image of a rundown person, a miserable person. Good. Les cheveux étaient ras et pourtant hérissés. So his hair was shaven. Ras means like nothing on it. And yet, hérissé, like spiky. I think because they started to grow, his hair started to grow. But we don't know, because then the next sentence is car il, because they is the hair. So that we will read next time. Please let me know, do you like this book? Do you want to read it? So we will see, we go on, normally we go on as long as we are at least 10 people reading the book. We were many people, I don't remember how many, but let me check, to read Tintin. I think like at the end we were still 40, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check it out. Yes, we were quite a lot. Where is Tintin? 54 last time. So I hope you will like this book, but please come back to me with your comments. And then normally from next week on, we read 2 pages per week. Hope we can manage. Okay, I'm continuing my coffee, then going to work. I wish you a very, very nice Tuesday. Bye.